Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I understand that I might be a little late to the party with this video, but with the amount of stuff to cover and just how deep it goes, I could not pass up doing this particular one. The Christian Server is a channel that has been very close to me for a while now. I actually worked as an intern for the man himself. Joined on the 19th of March 2016, his career has spanned an inconsistent 5 years on the YouTube platform. Today, we will take a look at it all, from the most mainstream and well-known to what has fallen into the depths of obscurity. So join me as we venture into the abyss to find out just how deep the Iceberg goes. Uploaded in early 2019, the Christian Server's cover of the famous Rezo Saris song, Gloomy Sunday, is, as of now, the most viewed video on his YouTube channel. The cover marked his return to music after the nearly 2-month-long break following the release of Wartime Diddies 2. The composition itself has been the subject of a popular urban legend. As the story goes, whoever listens to the song will become overwhelmed with the urge to commit harm to themselves. Several high-profile deaths have been attributed to this song, with its writer being one of the more damning examples of this phenomenon. Actually, the video itself was uploaded on Valentine's Day. Lord only knows what was wrong with him. Anthem of the Axis was the 5th song from the Christian Server's 2018 album, Wartime Diddies 2. The track began gaining popularity in the summer of 2020 and continued to do so rapidly until about April of 2021, to the point of amassing a total of 158 views as of this recording. The piece originally opened with a harsh, high-pitched tone that lasted for about 8 seconds. However, on the 31st of March 2021, and due to concern over the well-being of the listeners, this introduction was removed. It remains the 2nd most viewed video on his channel. Once the most viewed video on the Christian Server's channel, this entry refers to the first episode of his mini-series Yin and Yang. Uploaded on the 7th of August 2016, it now boasts a minuscule 133 views. The episode follows the misadventures of brothers Yin and Yang as they try to climb their way out of poverty by getting a job. They do all of this while being homeless, living out of an office building. It's unclear as to why the brothers do not simply attempt to get a job in the office that they are living in. However, this can be explained because On December 23rd of 2018, Christian uploaded a cover of the classic Christmas song in Dulci, Jubilo. The only catch, the entire thing was played on a singular kazoo. This video gained a steady amount of attraction upon initial release, most likely due to the song's association with Christmas and the fact that it was uploaded shortly before the holiday occurred. Benedict Boi was a channel related to the Christian servers. He collaborated with Christian on his second LP, Wartime Diddies 2, and eventually appeared in the featured channels section of his YouTube account. The two also had a rivalry in the early 2019 year, beginning with a diss track on Christian by Mr. Boi, entitled Steve Lasagna, and climaxing in a response diss by Mr. Server. As of March 5th, 2019, all of his old videos have been deleted. The name of the channel has also been changed to Slady. This entry refers to the reboot of the Yin and Yang miniseries, specifically the first 3 seasons of it. On November 15th, 2018, Mr. Server uploaded the 3rd episode, The Justice, officially ending the series hiatus, which lasted for over 2 years. The final episode of the 3rd season, The Kidnapping, was uploaded on the 1st of March, 2019. If you are wondering as to what the word reboot refers to, why we have not touched on the 2nd episode, or why the 4th season is not included in this bunch, it is because they all have separate entries at other points in the iceberg. In other words, we will look at them more in depth later in the video. Wartime Diddies is the debut studio album by the Christian Server. It was released on December 1st of 2018. The record is one of the most ambitious projects of Christian's, surrounding the concept of the TikTok war between, quote, furries and gamers that was popular near the end of the 2018 year. It is, potentially, the most well-known Christian Server album, mainly thanks to his cover of Green Day's The Boulevard of Broken Dreams, which was released as a bonus track on the LP. Code O is a video uploaded my God. Code O is a video uploaded by Mr. Server to YouTube on December 19th of 2018. The video is, essentially, a mock trailer for a fake movie adaptation of Caroline B. Cooney's novel, Code Orange. It features a vast cast, with Christian, for the very first time, not playing every single character in one of his own videos. It is nothing like any other upload on his channel, making it a special, be it odd, outlier. In January of 2019, the Christian server celebrated the monumental milestone, which was reaching 25 subscribers. Judging from comments on previous videos, this was a threshold that was long anticipated by him, as well as others. But Cheese Spaghetti is a song released on March 2nd of 2019. The entire thing is a parody of the Eminem track, Lose Yourself, with the lyrics being a response to Benedict Boi's diss track against him. However, its uploading actually worked to serve a separate function, which was to promote his third studio album, Meatballs on My Guitar. Initially, it worked well, gaining almost 40 views in the span of 2 to 3 days. However, due to the content of the track, it was removed on March 5th of the same year. It was planned to re-release the original version of the song. While different versions have been uploaded since that point in time, such as the classic clean version, the original remains removed. This next entry most likely refers to Wartime Diddies 2, and the aforementioned Meatballs on My Guitar, the second and third respective studio albums by Christian. Diddies 2 was a collaboration album between Benedict Boi and Server, released on the 15th of December 2018, with Boi composing 5 of its 12 tracks, including his hit, The Scheme. Although his tracks were lost in his channel purge, Christians are still available to listen to. The album uses the same concept as the first Wartime Diddies. However, instead of being from the perspective of the gamers, aka the allies, it's from the perspective of the furries, aka the Axis powers. Meanwhile, Meatballs on My Guitar was released on the last day of March 2019. The album was, in essence, a catalyst for the diss track, But Cheese Spaghetti, as the album after Diddies 2 was originally meant to be Musica de Color. It contains a combination of Irish folk instrumentals in the first half and hardcore hip-hop in the second. It also marked the introduction of the characters of Pete and Sally, who would go on to appear regularly on almost every album following. This entry refers to the promotional singles released for the Christian Server's fourth studio album, Musica de Color. These included a piano version of the second track, Azul, the album version of the seventh song, Azul 2, and an abridged version of Musica de Color, be it with its English title. The first two singles were released sporadically throughout 2019, the second one even being released in November, after the album was scrapped. However, when the project was revisited and completed, its title track was also released as a single to promote the record. The Season 4 premiere of Yin and Yang was uploaded on the 7th of May 2019. However, in March of 2020, it was privated, along with most of the other episodes, for a period of time. However, for some reason, whereas all of the other episodes of the show were eventually made public again, this one remained unlisted, and still does to this day. It could be possible that the reason lies within the final scene of the episode, which may have been deemed too gruesome for audiences. However, the answer still remains unknown. I mean, kinda, I literally just told you why, but, you know. This entry refers to the behind-the-scenes series documenting the production of the fourth season of Yin and Yang. The series only lasted for 2 episodes, being an introduction as well as a video in which Christian attempts, with much struggle and failure, to download the Jean-Michel Jarre song Industrial Revolution Overture for the second episode of the season. BiggBirdigan, formerly Clanker Lewis, is a YouTube channel that is featured in the Featured Channels section of his account. This is of note, as the earliest surviving video on Server's channel is one shouting out Clanker. This process was repeated with the equally defunct H20 Gamez channel, who is also included within the tab. There are other channels included in this section, although they were never shouted out in the same way as Lewis and Gamez were. The closest is Sam Belden, who was also credited in having provided the kazoos for the Dulci Jubilo cover. I assume that this simply refers to the trilogy of albums that followed his 2-year-long break post Meatballs on My Guitar. These albums would include Musica de Color, released on April 7th, Songas, released on May 1st, and The Sun Is Out, released on May 28th. All records were released in 2021, despite a large chunk of the material being recorded in the previous year. Before there was the 2018 reboot, Yin and Yang originally went on from August to around October or November of 2016. The show went on for 4 seasons, each one containing 3 episodes, as opposed to the 4 in the reboot. Many plot points from the original were recycled in this reboot, such as the story of Yost Schultz, as well as the brothers joining a band. The first 2 episodes of the show, on his channel right now, are also from this series. There was also meant to be a 1-hour Christmas special released in December of the same year. However, this never came to fruition. Dream is a lost song by the Christian Server, recorded for the album Wartime Diddies 3, which has now also been lost to time. The track was shared among some close to him. However, all traces of it have been destroyed, except for the lyrics. Wartime Diddies 3 was meant to be the follow-up record to his second album. This entry refers to the many name changes that the channel has undergone throughout its 5-year existence. It originally started as Dr. D and Professor P, before changing to Everything Movies, and then back again. The name then changed to The Christian Server, then Joseph Argro, then back again. It then changed to RIP TCS in May of 2021, standing for Rest in Peace, The Christian Server. And he proceeded to simply go by the Yin and Yang symbol at this time. However, it quickly changed back to Joseph Argro. Despite this, he mostly still goes by the Christian Server or the symbol, depending on the project. This might refer to the original version of Musica de Color. It was told that Christian finished about half of the album in December of 2018 or January of 2019. However, fearing that it was not good enough, he deleted it. And it wasn't. This could also be referencing the original version of Rojo, which was always meant to be on the album, up until his re-recording in 2020. The song still survives in Christian's possession, but it will most likely never see the light of day. This refers to the 7th studio album by the Christian Server. Simply known as Untitled, the project has had at least one single released from it, Osteoporosis, on June 28, 2021. The fate of the project remains unknown. However, the cover art has been released. Just now. Did you see it? This entry is referring to the uploading issues involving the second episode of Yin and Yang. The video was originally uploaded in August of 2016, however, was taken down in a channel purge. Yet when the 2018 reboot began, it was believed that the episode could be found on his second channel, Generation D. However, this was not the case, and try to keep up here, that episode was the first episode of the original second season, not the second episode of the first season. While the proper episode was featured in his second recovered content video, he eventually removed it from there, re-edited it, and uploaded it as a separate video entirely in June of 2021. This entry refers to the fact that most of the lyrics on his fifth album, Songas, were improvised, something that was a first for Christian at the time, and that hasn't been replicated since. This fact is something that he actually mentions within a song on the album. This refers to the fact that there were meant to be CDs and vinyl records made for each of Server's albums in November of 2019. One of the albums, Wartime Diddies, actually had a CD copy made of it. However, only one was created and is owned by Christian himself. This could also refer to the fact that there was supposed to be a CD version of color music created and handed out to those who went to see a certain Season 4 episode of Yin and Yang in person, sometime in May of 2019. However, the album was not completed by this deadline, and Season 4's production had slowed down to an excruciatingly slow pace by that time. The Act is the second episode of the third season of Yin and Yang. Originally, the episode had an entirely different second half, one that ended in a completely different way, and did not contain the associates at all. However, due to concerns that audiences would be uncomfortable with the different direction of the story, it was deleted and reshot soon after. This entry refers to the live guitar album that was meant to accompany the physical release of Musica de Color, acting as a surprise bonus disc in the package. The record was to feature Christian showing off his music skills by playing actual guitar on it. Its working title was Guitarra, which translates to guitar in Spanish. Void is a lost album by the Christian Server.
Why does my voice keep cutting
Void is a lost album by the Christian Server. Originally to be released in February of 2019, Void was to deal with the most serious and harsh subject matter that the man had ever touched upon, such as greed, lust, the upper class, and cults. It was also supposed to be the first and only record to feature actual swearing by Mr. Server. It was, apparently, only supposed to be released for a limited time, one day, as a matter of fact, before it would be removed from the internet altogether. In May of 2020, Christian would take on the project again, however, would soon give up on it, and most of the tracks recorded would go on to be repurposed for his Songas LP. Despite this, it is said that some of the songs made for Void still exist, buried deep in the vault of other Christian Server content. However, these rumors remain unconfirmed. Our last entry refers to Yin and Yang, specifically the 2018 reboot, which will continue with its 4th season next Wednesday. See you there.